I know you had a long, hard-fought race. What's it like being back on the first few days? We're on day 4 right now.
We are on day 4. It's nice to be back in the building, nice being in the Senate, not to have to worry about an election for a couple of years and being able to govern.
Okay, yeah. Speaking on the topic of governing, compared to last year's session, how do you view the relationship of bipartisanship, and what are Democrats going to be doing procedurally within the Senate that are going to improve, the legislative process? We see that there's a couple of rule amendments that are coming through, and I know you're on the Rules Committee right now.
Yeah, so the Senate has a tradition of bipartisanship and collaboration. During the last session, there were a number of issues that came up specifically to divide and try to exacerbate partisan divisions, and that continued during the special session.
Yes.
The hope is that now that we're past the election, we can come back together and be able to govern. The nice thing is, if there's not a desire to do that, we increased our majority by 2. We can govern with that on our own.
That's good to hear, too. So on the subject of getting tangible results for New Mexicans, what are you most excited to see legislative-wise? What do you want to see brought to the table?
Yeah, so this session started off, I think, on a high note for the Senate. On day 1, we unanimously agreed to begin archiving our webcasts.
Awesome.
That is something people have been asking for, and we could have had a long, drawn-out process for that, and instead we just decided to do it, which I think was the right thing to do.
We agree, yeah.
The other thing is, so I've got a couple of bills that I feel very strongly about, and that I'm hoping will go through. Sure. One is a bill to create a public accountability board. New Mexico is one of 8 states that does not have a statewide ethics or accountability commission, and this would provide an opportunity for any citizen to be able to file a complaint against an elected or appointed official, not just at the state level, but also at the local government level, and be able to have somebody investigate it and take a look at things. And I've worked hard at this bill, tried to make sure that it's not a gotcha bill, but that it provides real accountability and the opportunity for citizens to be heard.
That's great, and that increases transparency and accountability all the way from the local to the state level. Tell me, what was the inspiration behind this? You say that we're maybe one of the few states in the United States that doesn't have this provision in there right now that offers that kind of accountability. Why do you think that was?
Well, part of it is these are very delicate bills. It's easy to write these bills in a way that ends up being a gotcha, that ends up, frankly, discouraging people from serving. And so the thing is, we have to have the balance between respecting those who are, especially in New Mexico, volunteers, and at the same time making sure the public has accountability for the actions that they take while in office.
Yes, sir.
And so that's what I was driving at in terms of writing my bill.
Great. On the subject, this is the Young Democrats of New Mexico.
Yes.
Between Two Chilies episode, so I got to ask, what are you seeing on the millennial front for young adults and New Mexicans in economic development or the lottery scholarship? Is there anything that you're looking forward to see to help keep young adults in New Mexico?
Well, so let's first of all talk about activism from young adults. One of the bills that it's a constitutional amendment that I am carrying along with Representative Javier Martinez and Representative Liz Thompson, is to put in our state constitution the principle that if we're going to require people to register to vote as a condition of voting, that it's the state's responsibility to make sure that people are registered, and that no one will be excluded from voting for lack of registration. What this does is that right now we put the onus on the voter for the voter to be able to exercise what's a right. Well, if it's a right, why are we going to exclude them because they didn't fill out a form? And this particularly affects young people who at some point during the process get excited about the election, want to be able to participate, and so often are told, oh no,
You're too late.
You're too late.
Yes.
You didn't plan ahead enough, we're not going to let you participate. And my perspective is you have the right to participate, and we need to welcome you in and make sure that no legitimate voter is excluded from the process. And I'm also very proud of the fact that our Secretary of State, Maggie Toulouse-Oliver, has joined us in supporting this effort.
All the way. Well, I'm happy to hear that, and I think that's what young adults in New Mexico are going to be very pleased to see.
Absolutely.
Another thing, we do a fun round of questions called the Caliente round here. So if you're
Let
ready.
it burn.
All right, let's do it. I like it. Have you ever been to Lovington, New Mexico?
I have, as a matter of fact.
Okay,
My
yeah.
my wife graduated from Hobbs High School, so we drive through Lovington 2 or 3 times a year.
Red or green?
I'm more of a red person.
Yeah. Red's
but,
good.
But as an elected official of New Mexico,
Yeah.
Christmas all the way.
Okay, that's good to hear. Well, thank you for your time, Senator.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
you for being on the show.